Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome into another episode of Subscription Web Design. This episode's going to be a little bit different. I have a cool and a little bit scary announcement for you. So I hope you'll stick around with me as we talk about this and give me your time and attention. First of all, I want to say thank you for the past couple of years to this point. This podcast has gone on for a couple years now, and I have been able to work directly with some fabulous people. I've got to meet a lot of awesome people, coach a lot of cool students, both in one-on-one and in group settings, and also give you the courses that we have, the subscription web design course, and I have a few other ideas that I'd like to share with you in just a few minutes. But thank you for everything to this point. It's been sort of a fun and exciting journey, and we're going to pivot just a little bit, and that's what I'm excited to tell you about in this episode. So this is the cool and scary announcement. We are reimagining this business and this podcast. Reimagining. Now, what do I mean by reimagining? Well, it's not Subscription Web Design 2.0. But it's not going to stay Subscription Web Design 1.0 either. My goal is to take the very best insights, both customer-facing and personal insights, in terms of the last couple years of this podcast, and turn it into something even more special, more powerful, and more impactful for you. And so that's my goal. And as we go through this, I'd like to sort of talk about what that is going to look like. Here are some of the reasons behind this change that we've decided to make. First is that I really have a desire to help people with all the aspects of the business side of web design. Believe it or not, there are very few podcasts right now that actually focus on that. When I say very few podcasts, I mean even very few coaches, very few programs that at all focus on the business side of web design. And even a lot of the ones that are currently out there now, they're great, but they're mostly focused on specifically doing things within the context of web design, which is not a bad idea, especially for beginners. But I find a lot of people want to just think in business ways about web design. I see so many mistakes that people are making in their web design businesses because they fail to see that web design operates just like any other business. And I think, frankly, a business that stays siloed and only thinks about what they can do in the terms of how other web designers have done things, I think is going to be subject to crowd following, meaning they're always going to be behind, and I don't think you're going to be able to get ahead of the curve. So I want to teach you how to apply sound business principles and thinking to web design. And look, that's what led me to subscription web design in the first place. I built the subscription program not because I saw another designer do it. In fact, to this day, the only other designers that I'm aware of who run a subscription program just like me are the ones that I taught to do it. I came up with this system and with this program out of my personal business experience that I had to that point. You can go back to the beginning of this podcast if you want a little bit more of that context and that origin story. But those of you who have listened to that, you'll know that for me, I took something from another arena of business and of my life and applied it to web design. And that's how I built the business that I have that resulted in this podcast and everything else. And that same level of thinking is how I've been able to be successful all of these years, and it's how I can help make other people successful too. So I want to apply more of that business level thinking to web design, going beyond just creating a subscription model. Okay, that's a part of it, but it's not the whole picture. And I know this because people talk about this with me and ask me about this, and people tell me that they see me this way. They see me as being able to help with other things other than the subscription side. But since I've niched down so heavily into that, it's not very clear to many other people that I can help beyond just the subscription model. Okay, and I want to be able to help more people with that. Okay, secondly, I want to expand the range of guest opportunities that we have on this podcast. Again, the guests that we have had on have been pretty much focused around the subscription model, and That's okay. We'd like to have more of those, but I felt a little bit limited in the kinds of guests that I would really like to bring on because we're so niched down to the idea of the subscription model here. And I want the podcast brand to be a lot more reflective of the kind of value that we can bring with some of the people that I've met and in some of the ways that they can help and bring value to you as well. So I want to expand the possible range of guest opportunities on the podcast here. That's another reason why we're going to be reimagining things a little bit. Third is I want to help you build recurring revenue for your business in the context of an otherwise solid business foundation. Okay, so again, it's back to this idea of you need to have a holistic picture of what your business should look like. The recurring revenue model is a huge part of the business, but it's still just one part. Still just one part of the business. And so very important to me that we provide an outlet for that, we provide space for that on this podcast, here on this YouTube channel, etc. And the final reason for this sort of reimagining is that I want to have opportunities for people that are just starting out and for those that are more mature. Unfortunately, right now, there's a little bit of a mismatch between the intended audience for some of our programs and the people who are taking them. For example, our Getting Started with Subscription Web Design course is perfect for either beginners or people who are further along in the journey, because they've told me from both sides, people have taken copious notes from those courses and really seen a lot of help and benefit. And that's from people who are both, I would say, beginner, intermediate, and even advanced. Well, a lot of people, though, join my mentorship because actually it's a little bit cheaper to get into the mentorship and you still get the course material. But then over time, they don't tend to stay in the program because it's a little bit too expensive for them to pay for long term because they're so new in their business. And so that creates sort of a mismatch of incentives. So I wanted to be able to create a scenario where we had something that made sense for people who were at different stages of the journey, who could learn in an environment that worked better for them. And we had products and services that were geared towards people at those different levels. And one of the challenges with that is there's a lot of things we could do. There's so many different directions that we could go. And so that's where what I really wanted to do was hone in on the best parts of what worked and what didn't work over the past couple of years. And I think we've landed on something special that we're going to bring to you now, and I'm going to tell you about, and I think is going to provide a great foundation for the future. And if you are on this journey with me, I'm very excited about that. Okay, so first of all, what is this new thing going to be called? I think we're going to rename and rebrand the podcast the WebMBA. The WebMBA, like getting a master's of business administration in the web or in web design. And we're still going to maybe massage that and play with that a little bit. I'll say more about that process in just a minute, but that's what I'm landing on. What I really want to give people the impression is that this is a place to come and to learn how to apply business level thinking to your web design business. And listen, here's the reality. There's a lot of ways we could go with that. I think that kind of thinking ought to be open to people who are just beginning and people who are further along. I know MBA might have the connotation of higher learning and graduate level, and maybe it'd be more expensive. I don't think that's the case at all. I started my business in the very beginning, coming from a foundation of having other business skills. And so I don't see any reason why you have to have been in web design for 5 years and be making over 6 figures or anything like that to be able to benefit from those opportunities. So stay tuned for that coming soon. So the Subscription Web Design Podcast will be rebranding to very possibly the WebMBA. And we might change that a little bit, but that's going to be the idea. So same format, same style, probably going to be bringing on some more guests. Otherwise, it's still just going to be me, a solo show with the occasional interviews sprinkled in. but it's going to be a lot more just geared in general about business thinking. And of course, we're going to work in the recurring revenue stuff a ton. I mean, you're going to learn a lot of that, but we're going to just feel even more permission to be able to step out on a limb and help you apply business thinking to your web design agency. And we're coming into a season, into a time where this is going to be more important than ever. The economy is going through some interesting shifts right now. AI, technology is going through some interesting shifts right now. And if you're not thinking at a business level about your agency, you're just thinking about what other web designers are doing and how you can copy them, you're going to continually be behind and your business is never going to leap forward. I want to help you prepare for the future and keep your business future-proofed and leap into the future confidently. And I believe I can help you do that with this shift in thinking and in branding. Okay. So what's changing in the actual business? A few things. We are closing down our mentorship group. We currently have a structure where you come in, you get access to our course and lots of other videos that we have created. You get access to me through a group coaching call that happens twice per month. And you also get a backstage pass, which is basically a private podcast feed. We are shutting that down. Now, why are we doing that? Two reasons. The first reason is, quite honestly, we didn't find a lot of people showing up for the group coaching call throughout the lifetime of this membership. We've had good numbers throughout, but just not a lot of people showing up on the calls. And I think that is detrimental to you, and it's probably why we have a higher churn rate than I want to have, because if you're not showing up for the calls, and yet that's what I perceive to be the main piece of the value that you'll get, then you're not going to see the value in it, right? So you're going to leave. And that has happened a lot, and that's very unfortunate because I think that we have a lot to offer people, and this model doesn't seem to be working for it. So the group coaching is hard, and I know that it's hard because I have a global audience, and so there's people all over the world who would be trying to join in, and many times certain people just couldn't make it, and the timing just was never right. So what we've decided to do instead is transition to a one-on-one coaching model where you will get one coaching call with me a month, and it will be very accountability-based. The next time we talk, we're going to talk about what we talked about the last time. To start off with, see what progress you've made, what questions you have, how we can help you moving forward with those things, and then transition into the next things and the set of things that you'll need to do to satisfy the next month's requirements. So that's how we're going to do it. Transition to one-on-one coaching. It will be business level coaching. We could talk about recurring income if you'd like, but there's lots of other things that we're going to talk about too. With that, of course, your niche, your business plan, how you're marketing. Should you do email marketing? Should you do social media? Should you do a lead magnet? What lead magnet should you make? These are all the kind of questions that a lot of times I end up answering for people anyway, but most of you don't know that we can talk about those things here and that's something that I can help you with. And I want to be clear on that. Okay, here's the second thing that's going to happen. By far, one of the best parts of what we have done these past couple of years has been the community element through Basecamp. So if you don't know, all of our course and membership students have access to me directly and to their peers inside of a group in my Basecamp project management system that I use for my agency. We have a specific group dedicated to my students, and in there, we have great discussions. People can post in there for feedback. We ask every week, what are you working on this week? What do you plan to get done? And people automatically respond in that. People sometimes ask for feedback for projects and just all kinds of stuff. People love it. It's way more curated than something like a Facebook group, way more personal, way more intimate, and you just know you're in there doing business with like-minded people, okay? That group is available. Anyone previously who had signed up for the group coaching program or for the courses would get access to that. Okay. Going forward, that's still true. If you buy a course, you're going to get access to my Basecamp community. If you buy one-on-one coaching from me, I will also give you access to the Basecamp community so that you can learn from other peers. But of course, there's not going to be a mentorship program anymore, a group coaching program. So I wanted to figure out a way that I could make this available to the highest number of people possible, because I feel like if I could get more people in there and more discussion happening, more and more people would see the value of that and how amazing it is. And I'm just amazed at how much value people have gotten out of just connecting together in this group. And I thought that would be something that people would like the least. But in my experience, they've liked it the most. So I'm very pleased to announce that I've decided to offer a yes, literally $4.99, a $5 per month subscription. And what you get is access to that Basecamp community. And in that Basecamp community is where you can talk directly to me. You can message me directly. You can post in our message board threads, and you can ask for feedback on a project, and I'll provide a little video review for you, giving you feedback on your project. I mentioned earlier that I have currently a Backstage Pass podcast. I'm going to probably cease doing that podcast and instead do a Backstage Pass write-ups and or videos inside of Basecamp on a monthly basis. So we're going to center everything around there, and any one of you can join that Basecamp for just $4.99. And I'm going to make that access available for purchase right away on our website. You can go to steveschramm.co/Basecamp for right now to get access to that. And I'm probably going to give that some kind of cool name or something in the future. I don't have that quite yet. So as of right now, you can go to steveschramm.co/Basecamp to start paying $4.99 a month and access that. If you decide to leave that, you can leave at any time, cancel anytime. There's no commitment, and we'll get you removed out of there, and that will not be a problem. If you buy one of my courses, you get lifetime access to Basecamp. If you buy one-on-one coaching, you get lifetime access to Basecamp. For the rest of you who just want that community and specifically that accountability and personalized feedback on stuff as it happens, then you can just pay $4.99 a month and be in Basecamp for as long as you would like to. And I'm excited to offer you that opportunity. Okay, the third thing is courses. Everyone seems to be pivoting away from courses. I think we're going to double down on them. That's a little bit of a risk, but you know what? If you don't ever take risks, then you never know what the possibilities could be. And I still think that people love to learn from online courses, specifically lower cost spotlight courses that teach you specifically how to get a particular result. And I really love creating those kinds of courses, but I haven't made time to do it in the past, and that's going to be changing. So of course, getting started with subscription web design, that course material is still going to be available. Probably it's even going to get beefed up because I'm very likely going to take that material and infuse it with the other material that my coaching students were able to get. They had a little bit more access to material than just those who bought the course. I'm probably going to mend all that together so the course material is even more useful and valuable for people. And then I have some ideas for other courses that I would like to create that will help you as an agency owner. I've got some courses on email marketing I'd like to do. I've got a course on creating a membership site I'd like to do. I've got some financial courses that I'd like to do on structuring your business and some other marketing ideas. I've got courses on specific technologies that I'd like to create to help you out, again, in your business journey. So there's lots that I want to do there from an instructional standpoint, and those courses will be available for one-off purchases. I may eventually, if I have a collection of them growing over time, I may provide a subscription-based access, but that's so far in the future that I don't have a clue what that would look like. So if you're interested in the one-off kind of learning specifically how to do things, I'm going to be working on creating more course material like that will be available at steveschramm.co. And so all of this stuff will be at steveschramm.co. I'm going to move everything over there since that's sort of where my business life online, it's sort of the hub for that. So I'm going to move everything over there, and I think that'll be a lot easier. Okay, and then finally, the fourth thing is, of course, if you do need mentorship, and you want that one-on-one accountability, then we are going to make one-on-one opportunities available, okay? We'll make it real easy on my website for you to go purchase one-on-one coaching. And I would say we'll probably do that in like 3-month sprints. Anything less than 3 months, it's hard to make any traction. Anything more than 3 months, you may change your mind and you may not decide, you may decide you want to go a different route. And so we're going to do that in probably 3-month sprints where you can purchase 3 months at a time of that one-on-one coaching. And I think that will be a great way to enhance your business. And here's what we're going to do. We're really going to try our best to make that affordable because I want to be able to help you in your business wherever you are. This is a side business for me. I'm not trying to get rich off of this. I'm not trying to break your wallet over this. I just want to provide this as a service that's worthwhile for me and valuable for you to other web designers. And this is the best way that I know how. So to recap, the community through Basecamp, where you can interact with myself and other like-minded web designers to help actually accomplish your goals. That's really what that community does, is help you drive forward toward your goals. That's available for just $4.99 per month. Very affordable. Most people should be able to jump in there, take advantage of it, and it will really help propel your business forward. I think you'll be shocked, especially over the course of time, of what kind of value that's going to be for $5 a month. So I'm really excited to offer that to you. It's probably the thing I'm the most excited about. Okay. So that's at steveschramm.co/Basecamp. Courses, we're going to be creating even more courses, bigger courses, smaller courses, more direct courses, but we're going to give you more course material that you can sink your teeth into to learn how to apply business thinking to website design. And then finally, one-on-one coaching will be available in packages of 3-month sprints. Okay, so that's the big news. That's the big announcement. Let me give you one more additional thing. We are going to take August, possibly even September, due to travel, off from the podcast to do the hard work of this reimagination. We've got artwork to design. We've got websites to build and things to shift around and things to take offline and just some logistics that we have to take care of. These are the hard things that come along with doing this kind of work. Okay. And so, please be patient. I promise we're not going away forever. A month or two at most. We're going to take off and come back bigger and stronger than ever. In the meantime, please go to steveschramm.co and get signed up, especially for the community. I think it's going to be a wonderful way to propel you forward in your business as we come into the fall season of 2024 and head strong into 2025. Thank you so much for your time, for blessing me with your time and with your finances and with your attention over the past couple years. I know the future is going to be great, and I'd appreciate it if you'd hang in there with me and see us into this next phase of the future. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.